What's up peeps, Big here from LilBigGamers, and welcome to another video where today we are going to teach you all the basics of Pokemon breeding. So don't forget to leave a like if you like what we do, it helps us a lot, and without further ado, let's do this. Pokemon breeding is a way to obtain new Pokemon by producing and hatching eggs. Since catching Pokemon may not yield the individual values, nature, or abilities that you're looking for, breeding will offer you a more flexible approach that will be faster than hunting for the Pokemon that you want. Some also breed to obtain shiny Pokemon with good statistics. Before going through the breeding process, let's talk about the basic things that you will need to know about Pokemon statistics. There's base statistics, individual values or IVs, effort values or EVs, natures, and abilities. Take note that in Pokemon Brick Bronze, if you wish to see the individual values and effort values, you will need to purchase the Advanced Stat Viewer Game Pass. It is 50 Robux, but essential if you want to be serious about breeding Pokemon. The base statistics are the Pokemon basic statistics. They are predetermined and will never change unless your Pokemon evolves. Every Pokemon have base statistics. There are various websites where you can find these, and I will link one from Bulbapedia in the description down below. Individual values are the Pokemon genes. They are traits which are passed from one generation to the next. Every statistics will range from 0 being the worst to 31 being the best. Each IV will complement each statistics, whether it's the HP or hit points, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, or speed. Effort values or EVs are unseen statistics that can increase your Pokemon stats. For every 4 EVs obtained in one statistic, that stat will increase by 1 extra point at level 100. There is a maximum of 510 effort value points that can be used on any Pokemon. On the same note, you cannot get a certain EV higher than 252 points. The way to train effort values is by training your Pokemon in various hotspots or by defeating specific Pokemon upon encountering them. It also helps if you have a Macho Brace on, which you can purchase at the Battle Coliseum for some battle points. Okay, that's cool, but what does this mean? Let's take a level 100 Tyranitar in PvP for example.
Rawr.
If it has no EVs and an IV of 0 in its hit points, it will have 310 hit points. If it has a 31 in the HP IV, it would then have 341 HP.
Rawr, I'm so powerful!
The same applies for every statistics depending on the formula. There's also natures and abilities. Natures is a mechanic that will affect two statistics, increasing one by 10% and decreasing one by 10%. This is really important when determining what you want your Pokemon's strength and weakness to be. There's also natures that don't offer any changes as they increase and decrease the same statistic. Here's a nature table with the statistic changes taken from Bulbapedia. If we take Adamant, for example, you can see that the attack statistic is increased, but the special attack is decreased. Therefore, if you want to breed a physical attacker, Adamant would be a nature of choice. Pokemon abilities will offer a passive effect in battle to your Pokemon. Some species of Pokemon have multiple possible abilities. The most are 3, 2 normal and 1 hidden ability, which are rare and can definitely give you a strategic advantage in battle. Now that you know everything about Pokemon statistics, here are the basics of breeding. You will need 2 Pokemon of opposite gender, or you can also use a Ditto. Note that if you're using different Pokemon for breeding, the child will always come from the female species that you have from the pair. The Pokemon needs to be from compatible egg groups, and that is very important. If you take 2 compatible Pokemon of opposite gender, or with a Ditto, you will be able to produce some eggs that you can hatch by walking around with them. You can also take breeding to another level so you can breed perfect Pokemon with the best nature, abilities, and IVs. We are going to cover that in an advanced breeding guide which will appear soon. The first question is, where do you breed your Pokemon? In Pokemon Brick Bronze, once you've defeated the Brimber City Gym, the road heading to Laguna Lake will open. Once you complete the Bidoof quest to open up the dam, you will arrive in Laguna Lake. There will be a house in the town center on the left hand side, which is the Pokemon daycare. Once you have everything that you need to start breeding, head in the daycare and speak to the lady at the counter. You will have the option to leave your Pokemon there. Once you leave them, the more you walk around in Roria, the more they will level. If you go out of the daycare, there will be an old man standing by the mailbox. You may speak to him to know the compatibility level of your Pokemon which you have left in the daycare. This will have an impact on the breeding rate, which is how quickly they will produce eggs. The best combination that you can get for the rate to be as fast as possible is to have two identical species from different original trainers. You can know the breeding rate by talking to the old man. If he says the two seems to get along very well, congratulations. For every cycle, which consists of 250 steps, there's a 70% chance of getting an egg produced. If he says the two seems to get along, there is a 50% chance of an egg being produced for every cycle. If he says the two don't really seem to like each other very much, there is still a chance to produce eggs. However, the chances are 20% per cycle. If the old man says the two prefer to play with other Pokemon more than each other, there are no chances of eggs being produced, and you will need to look at changing the Pokemon you currently have in the daycare. You can also get increased chances of eggs being produced if you purchase the Oval Charm Game Pass. This will bring the breeding rate up by a lot, increasing the amount of chances of you getting an egg per cycle. Okay, so now that we understand the basics, it's time for the most simple but time-consuming part of the Pokemon breeding process: hatching the eggs. Once you're outside the daycare, you can start walking around or use your hoverboard. When you see the old man turn facing the mailbox, it means that you have an egg ready. Go speak to him and you will get an egg in your party. Then the fun begins. You will need to walk around or use your hoverboard until the egg hatches. Every Pokemon has an egg cycle, and here's a list if you want to know them. They go by steps. They vary from 1,280 steps to 10,240 steps, with the longest eggs to hatch in the game being 20,480 steps for the Lake Guardians. It also helps to have a Pokemon with the Flame Body ability, leading your party to decrease the number of steps required to hatch the eggs. There you go! Now that you have all the basic information to start your Pokemon breeding careers, you are one step away from being the ultimate Pokemon master. There are more to cover about breeding, like passing down IVs and natures down to other generations, and items that are essential to make it happen, which we will cover in our advanced guide. When it's available, we will update the description of this video to link it. Alternatively, you can also subscribe and turn on notifications to know when it's available. If you like this guide, be sure to leave a like on this video to show your support, and if you want more guides like this one. Thank you for watching, stay safe, game hard, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!